Hey guys, what's up? It's Slaw bringing you another episode of Car Rides with Slaw. And today is going to be the last time I'm recording for a minute. It's been crazy, hasn't it? It's definitely been crazy. Well, first of all, hey guys, what's up? It's Slaw bringing you back another episode of Car Rides with Slaw. And today is the last time that I'm going to be recording for a while. It's going to be my week vacation, which is, I don't know, pretty relevant because we've been on the grind for a long time. I feel like it's been a month at this point. Probably, if it hasn't been a month, it's been nearly a month of Car Rides with Schla. And we're out here on the grind. And I was thinking of ways to try to over record and try to get extra content to squeeze into the break and all that stuff, but nah. I just decided let's just chill. Let's just actually get a break and enjoy private life before the fame hits, because there's no going back once the fame hits. There's just no going back. And so we know what's going on. And I just thought, why overwork myself? You know, I got plenty of time to be overworking. I'm going to be... Whoa, the person behind me is like really upset. They threw their hands up in the air. They opened their mouth because, again, I'm slowing down, coming to a stop sign. What a crazy concept. I don't understand why. Is it really strange that I do that? Is it strange that I don't barrel towards a stop sign? Because to me, I've never why would you do that? Why would you barrel towards a stop sign? Why would you be upset if somebody else wasn't barreling towards a stop sign? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. The whole thing just seems silly and strange. That's my impression of it, at least. But hey, what do I know? Ultimately, what do I know? Sorry, I'm doing the camera recording in the normal way, not the schlangle. I was just looking at myself and thinking of camera angle related things I could do. We're really cutting it very tight because I think I'm gonna end up ordering the extra mounting hardware pretty soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later, and then we're really cutting it close. I don't know what we're going to have to figure out for the final recording. I have no idea what it's going to be, to be honest with you. We're just winging it. That's all you really can do in life. That's all you really can do is just wing it. I wonder what I was actually talking about. What was I actually talking about? You know what I mean? That's always like the key question. It's been a good feeling time. Things were kind of for a while, but I'm pretty amped up now. I'm ready for fame. I'm ready to hit the grind, the slow grind. It's going to be a couple months, but I'm ready for fame, and this week break is going to be the last vacation I ever have in my life, so I just figured might as well enjoy it, right? Might as well be attuned with it and stuff. And stuff. Why am I talking like that? We should be past that. And that's another thing I've been thinking too. These episodes really, the quality's got to spike. It's got to spike. It hasn't been up to my standards. It just hasn't been up to my standards. Maybe it's been up to y'all's standards. Maybe the listener listening to this is cool with it. I'm not. I think this series could be a lot better than it is. That's what I think. And I think that, again, I was in that drought. I was in that period where I was getting a little sad and all silly. But, well, you know what? There's a difference, though. Being sad doesn't necessarily mean bad content at all. That's the thing. I just think there was a few episodes in there that were boring. I'm not sure exactly what I'm talking about though, because I feel like this morning's episode was good. I don't know why I shifted into fourth. I usually don't. Sometimes I just randomly get distracted, and then it's just I don't know. It's kind of crazy, right? Sometimes it just randomly happens. Can't do much about it. But it is what it is. I think I saw my black Range Rover. But it's not mine, it's the smaller one, but it's new. So that's kind of cool. Like I said, if you're in the market for a new car, please purchase a Range Rover. We need to keep that brand alive and thriving. Because Jaguar is a lost cause. I mean, they're just going under. That's just a lost cause. But this break and the timing of the days, I love it. I'm going to come back Monday. It's going to be the last day of June. And so we will be fully within July. July on out, we're going hard. And there's never going to be any vacations. There's never going to be any breaks. Bam, I remembered what I was going to talk about. Probably a sentence or two ago, but I didn't want to interrupt myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that happens. In my mind, there's like a fight going on. I'm speaking certain things in my mouth and my words, and then my brain's like punching, saying, nah, say this, say that. And then, it gets kind of messy sometimes up in there. I got to play ref. I got to play ref, and it's messy. It's not always chill. But I'm chill sometimes. I feel like I'm more chill than a lot of people sometimes. Some people are nasty. Some people are evil and nasty, honestly. That's really like some people's whole brand, right? So we're going to work on it. We will work on it. What am I working on? Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Luckily, I still remembered what I was saying beyond all that random gibberish I felt like spew. Actually, it wasn't gibberish. It was true. That does happen, especially during this show, because I'm talking, but I'm always thinking. Well, not always. A lot of times when I'm talking, my mind does shut up, but then it kind of like slips in and out while I'm talking. Gives me like hints like, shall I do that? Shall I do that? Shall I do that? Shall I do that? And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. So basically, I realized today, forget this whole, I had this mindset where I wasn't really going to focus on music as much. Forget it. I'm here to be a musician. I'm here to be a celebrity. I'm here to be at Coachella. I'm here for it, and I'm not going to listen to myself. Car rides with Schla, sure, it's great, and of course that's not going anywhere. And my voice and speaking is definitely not going anywhere. For sure. We're going to make sure. We're going to make sure that we're going to make sure that that's not going anywhere. But the music dream definitely needs to stay alive, for sure. And in the beginning of this, I was thinking like, yeah, music's like something I'm cool with, but it's not my main thing. I'm going to focus on talking. No, that mindset was wrong. I need to lock in with music. It's time we went further with music, period. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's super important. Super important. I have to be a star. A linguistic star, sure, but a musical star in addition it's a must. It's a must. It's something I have to accomplish. In addition to becoming president and all that, it's just something that has to be done. There's things that I need to do, and I know I have the ability. I've said it before. Well, I don't know if I've said it before on the show, but I've said it before. It's come out of my mouth during my life. If I was just in a room with people that had musical skill and I could direct things, I'm serious. I have such good musical ideas, and I have it all with zero education or training. That's the crazy thing. There's probably not another person on this planet who is as inexperienced musically as me and has as much potential. I mean, you guys have seen my albums now. The beginning albums, they stank. Let's just put it out there. Let's let it rot. Let's let it smell. They stank. But some of those later albums, I feel like people sleep on a lot. There's gems in those albums, and a lot of people don't hear them because they're lazy. They just listen to the first song, and then I don't know what they do after that. So, but I really have potential because that was 4 years ago. So we're making music now, and the music now is going to be at least 4 times better. And I got to lock. I mean, I don't know what I was saying. Like I got to do everything. I got to do everything. There's no way. We're setting goals. We're pushing. It's time to push. We were taking it slow. It's time to push. It's definitely time to push for sure. Now, I mean, I'm saying that, but I still kind of have to have that idea of playing it a little bit cautious. I can't get burnout, not at a time like this. It's too critical. It's too crucial. We can't have it happen. Burnout is not an option. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Burnout's not an option at this point. But I'm happy. I'm much happier than I was. I was a little bit miserable, and now I'm not. Now I'm just a little bit. No, I'm not even miserable at all. I'm feeling fine. You guys can probably tell. But see, that adjusts the content, though. Like, I gotta watch, because it's not like the profound stuff. It's not really a problem. I mean, there's different sides to me, you know? You guys get what you get. Don't be telling me what I kind of can't do, but I know that those certain episodes that are chill or when I'm in my bag and stuff, they're good. I think they're good, but I think they all have they're all good, really. Everything I touch is good. Yo, I'm just I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to channel that. Now I'm trying to get sad. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to get sad right now. Like, I'm not trying to be happy anymore, because forget that. That doesn't make good content. It doesn't hit the heart. And then there's gonna be people mad when Shlah's like this and mad when Shlah's like that. Like, hey Shlah, why aren't you more sad? Hey Shlah, why are you miserable? You gotta be happy. I like the happy episodes. There's gonna be people on all angles. It's all angles. That's all Shlah is, with the schlangle and angles. That's all we are, really. We're just a bunch of angles. That's all life really is. You know, all life really is just a bunch of angles. I don't know if you guys ever seen that before, but it's true. Look around. That's all life really is. All life really is just a bunch of angles. And that's why that's all that matters. And that it's, you know, some good, but some bad. Life's got plenty of bad angles in it, too. Not everything's pretty. Life gets ugly. And you got to remember that. Life's always going to get ugly. I mean, well, unless, like, not for me, but for most people, it's ugly. I already dealt with my ugly. My ugly is in the past. Now we're in the glow-up stage. Now we're in the career takeoff stage, the fame takeoff stage. It's different. But life's all about angles. That's all life really is, honestly. If there's one thing I could say, it would be that. I think more, if I have one piece of information to give, it would be that. Most certainly. Most certainly. There's still things to be sad about, though. You know, there's always something to be sad about. There's always something to be sad about now. I don't know what I would be sad about right now. I actually just don't. It's just crazy getting this recorded. Is this normal? I feel like it is. I think other people have to think the same as me, or I don't know. Because if anything, I want to say I'm more stable than a lot of people. Where on a day-to-day basis, I'm just pretty consistent. I mean, maybe not mentally, but again, it's still tricky. Because it just seems like a lot of people can get grouchy and they're kind of disorganized. I'm not disorganized. It's odd. The whole thing's odd. I don't know how to really describe where I fall, but I know I'm not. I don't know though. Because again, if you listen to these videos, you may think, I may give the impression that I'm not a stable person. One video I'm super upset. One video I'm in my bag. Next video I'm out of my bag. It's kind of like that from a few days range, and that may give off as somebody who is very unstable, but I don't feel unstable. I go to my job every day. I'm not really particularly miserable about it. There's never really days where I have trouble waking up or things like that. I mean, once in a blue moon maybe, but I don't know. I just don't really think so then when it comes to stability, and I look at the way a lot of people are and a lot of my peers, I'm probably in record-breaking territory when it comes to people who, like, with how consistent I'm on time. I'm probably in record-breaking territory. I've never been late to work. It's never even been remotely close. That's probably right. So when it comes to stability, I think a lot of other people would not be as stable as me. Okay, so here's the impression I wanted to give. When you get me on this show, you have to remember I'm expressing my emotions in a way that I think is very well. I think it's a really good outlet for me. I'm hoping that somebody watches this someday and gets something out of it. Of course, I have no way of knowing. But it's a healthy expression of things. And I don't know if I've really realized it or if the people listening realize it, but it is expression. It's not action. I'm not hurting anything. I'm not breaking things. I don't damage anything. It's just words. I just use my words and I'm putting it onto a canvas. Really, that's really what's going on. And so, yeah, some things may be dramatized. Humans tend to do that. And it may seem like I'm really unstable, but it's just words at the end of the day. And that's all life really is all life really is words, you know? And I'm not even joking about, like, that is actually true. That all life really is words. And the thing is, most people I don't even think if they did what I'm doing, they would be able to. Because, and I know people are like, what is with you and just wanting to be condescending all the time? I'm sorry. If it's annoying, let me know. But the thing is I've held myself to such an aggressive standard for so long, and I felt like I was worse than everybody for so long, that this is the reaction to that. That there are certain things I notice, and I'm definitely ahead of a lot of people, and I've just been really hard on myself for so long. And I think it's important to accept truth, not to be inflated by it. I know there's still ways I could improve, and I think it's actually pretty healthy to have that kind of a mindset. Well, I don't know how healthy it is, but I think it's good, and I think it's useful for what I'm trying to do, to kind of be hard on yourself, to think I'm not good enough, and for me to use that to try to catapult and push ahead, because it doesn't even matter. Even if I am above average, what does that mean? You know, I'm not trying to just be above average. I need to go for something way higher than that. And so that's the whole point. It's not like it ever really stops. I think that's an important thing to point out when I talk about this. I don't want it to be misinterpreted, because a lot of people, I don't know, they just don't. I think they misunderstand me, and they think I'm a certain way when I'm really not. I think it's important, though, to be honest. And the honest truth is, I mean, there's still a lot of people better than me in a lot of different ways. I really, especially the past couple years, I mean, basically did nothing. So there's people who are ahead, but I think compared to a lot of people, I'm doing pretty good. And that's really what matters, right? I don't know. Well, no, that's complete contradiction to what I've been saying this whole time. My culminating point is that it's very important to be honest. It's not important to say you're dumb when you're not. And that's what I've been attempting to have, that kind of a mentality. Telling myself I am good, because it's true. There's no reason to be. Now, again, am I good enough for my own standards? Maybe not. Maybe I still want to, like I said, catapult. Because I'm not trying to just be some average person. That's not me at all. So just because I'm above average for now doesn't really mean anything. I got to keep moving. That's what I got to do. I just got to keep moving. So I think it's beneficial to have that mindset. It's important. But it's also important to balance that, because I know a lot of people get so caught up in that, and they never can get anywhere. And I think that's where I was at for a while, of paralysis. And I hopefully will not fall back into that again. I'm assuming a lot of people know what I'm talking about. And that's why I think there's power in confidence. There's power in just putting yourself out there like that. And that's what I'm trying to lean more into that. But I'm saying it's still important to not lose sight. Because getting overconfident is very dangerous too. I still got things I'm not really at peace with, like using the filler words, which I just used, and other things I do want to perfect. I just think I kind of got lazy. I got a little bit lazy for a bit. I don't know why. I don't really know what happened, but I did. I got pretty lazy. It's okay though. I feel like the filler words is something that comes kind of later. It's something I'll take somewhat of a note to, and I think it has improved, especially compared to the first couple episodes. It's obviously something I'm kind of cognizant of, but I kind of just used one. Obviously, that really is another redundant word. It's almost like literally. It's the same kind of thing. I'm trying to take it chill, though, because there's so many other things to work on before we really... to me, removing filler words is the icing on the cake. It's the cherry on the sundae. Unless it was really excessive or bad, that is a problem. But I don't think the point we're at, it's really excessive or bad. I don't know if it ever was, honestly. Honestly is kind of like another filler word. I think kind is even a filler word. I don't know if it's ever really that bad, because I'm saying that. Who knows, though? Again, it's like, it's the same thing where I'm comparing, like, of course, now they're really coming out, which, that's ticking me off, but I'm not shocked, because I know the second you start mentioning it, it's going to start happening a bunch. Who am I comparing myself to? Are there that many people who are really that good at avoiding filler words when they're essentially giving a speech? I don't really think so. I think it's something that it's special that I'm able to talk. I should be grateful for that. But also work on that element of still being hard on myself, still trying to perfect things. Needless to say, the point I'm getting at is that there's bigger fish to fry, in my opinion, than obsessing over filler words. I think filler words are, again, really the icing on the cake. They're a finishing touch, but if you don't have speaking ability that's interesting in the first place, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how good you are at avoiding filler words. If nobody wants to listen to you, nobody wants to listen to you. So there's definitely other things to be conscientious of and work on than just little things like that. I think there is somebody walking on the highway. Never seen that before. I hope they're okay. I mean, that really unusual, but it is what it is. I think this episode was pretty good, though. We got some thoughts down, although I kind of started to feel it was mediocre. You guys are saying, stop talking about the episode so much. That's not good. Maybe it's not, but I don't know. At least I'm not talking about the camera angle for the first 15 minutes. Well, wasn't that a treat? I do need to trust myself more. I think, especially now that I'm older, I'm realizing, though, maybe when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of good... I had a lot of good intuition, but there's a huge difference between good intuition and then sometimes that isn't always good action. Sometimes I think an idea can be really, really good as an idea, but then if you actually listen to yourself, it's kind of not. And I think it's been safe to be a little bit more grounded. But now that I'm older and I've experienced a lot more working and among other things, I think it's ready to just start listening to myself, and I might make some mistakes here and there, but that's life. I think it was okay, though, that I had that grounding period. I think so. I think it made sense that when I was younger, I had a lot of good ideas, but crazier ideas. And it was okay that I didn't go through with them. It was okay. It kind of made sense that I erred more on the side of caution or listening to others, but it's time to start building myself, truly. I think so. And trusting that a lot of my intuition is really good. It just kind of needs to be a bit more grounded sometimes. I think some of the things I think of are a little bit crazy. They're a little bit ambitious. Too much so, really. It happens, right? Some of us are like that. Wish I had more profound things to say. They just happen, though. I think, again, the most profound stuff is always, I'm saying it automatically. It's never It never just happens. That's how everything is. Some people are planners, though. Some people will get stuff by sitting down, being serious, and trying to think of things. That's never how it works for me. It just happens. I'm not really in control. I just take the show for granted. The show's not in my hands. Well, I don't take it for granted. I don't know what I meant by that. I wonder what I was trying to say. Something I was interested to talk about was how socializing online ruins people, and it all comes down to accountability. It's just impossible for a lot of people to resist getting in these really strange behavior patterns online. There's a lot of behavior, ghosting being the main thing, that isn't allowed to really happen in real life to the same extent because there's a lot of stability and social consequence. Whereas online, a lot of times there isn't really a consequence because you can kind of just get away with stuff. You can't really get away with things in the same way in real life. Now, I guess it depends a lot. It does depend on who you're around in real life. There can absolutely be super toxic environments in real life that could be worse than Discord. But if we're going to assume it's just an average IRL situation, you have to be held accountable for your actions a lot more than online. Like, it's pretty hard, let's say if you're in college and you're in the same class as someone, to just completely ignore them. It's pretty difficult. You can, I'm sure it still goes on. On Discord online, it's easy. You can really, really easily just ignore people if you want to do that. There's no obligation. There's no oh, I'm going to look bad if I ignore this person. There's none of that. You won't ever really have to be accountable for it. You could treat someone terribly and it never even has to come to light. You could just have another account or just not tell people. So you can get away with a lot online, and the truth is most people just end up getting caught up in that and just do it. Just out of, I don't know if they're conscious of it. I don't know if it's tempting. But there's a lot of issues with it, and I think it ends up becoming wasted time. And I'm thinking of this more and more as even since the start of the show, I realized this is my outlet. This is the thing I want to work on and all that. And that trying to make these friendships online work, it just never panned out for me. It was always such a waste of time. And I would really be good. I would be so good to people. And it just doesn't matter. People are flaky. People are weird. And I think it's just a lack of thought about things, a lack of awareness about things. And you're in a digital environment where you can click block, you can just click remove friend. It's so easy, so people just do it inevitably. I think that is a sad truth about humans, is that if they're given the option to do something, there's going to be a percentage who just does it. And that's why, in my opinion, society needs to have more rules and regulations about things. And it's not really about a nanny state or anything like that. It's just a basic understanding of psychology. That if there's a wrong choice and it's possible to be made, and you have a group of people, a certain percentage will make that wrong choice. So it makes sense to try to dissuade people from doing it. And of course, there's different arguments to be made. There's, too much rules ends up making people rebel and all this. I'm not saying things need to be overbearing, but the way things are as is crazy amounts of freedom, especially when you look at the fact that so much people are more and more interacting in digital platforms. It's concerning because there are all these platforms where there's no accountability to anything. I think I touched upon it before, but in a lot of ways, you don't have to talk to people anymore. You could just go on TikTok and just follow creators, or go on YouTube and listen to people, if you're in the mood for long-form content, short-form, whatever you want. There's lots of people yapping, even what you're doing right now, listening to me. Someone who doesn't know you, doesn't care about you. It's pretty sad, but a lot of people are falling into that, and it's completely changing how we see people, and we see people as disposable. That's what I think has happened. I don't. I'm very firmly in the total opposite direction, and that's why it's very difficult for me to interact, because I've seen it change. I've seen people change so much since I was a kid, because so much change has happened. And a lot of people don't notice or don't remember, or just, that's another thing I've realized. My memory is better than most. And I think what's specifically important about that is emotional memory. I don't just remember details, I remember feelings. I remember how I felt in the past. I remember how things felt in the past. I remember how people felt in the past. That's a key important thing. I may not have photographic memory to study, but when it comes to experiences, I remember a lot of them. And it's an important thing that I notice a lot of people lack. I think I've said it before. IQ is one thing, but I really think EQ does not get enough rep at all. If anything, emotional intelligence is usually going to be more relevant and important. And it's crazy coming from me, because I'm someone who used to think logic was the gold standard, and that the reason why we have problems is because people aren't logical enough. And it was this whole thing. I always believed in that emotion was bad. We have to get rid of it, like Cyrus from Diamond and Pearl. Like Cyrus, spirit, human spirit, emotion is the flaw. But that's just completely nonsense. I don't know. Because I'm realizing the way people aren't intelligent, that's upsetting me, is not intelligence, it's emotional intelligence. And that's what it's been the whole time. It's actually been a lack of emotion that has been upsetting for me. A lack of EQ. It wasn't a lack of IQ. I think people have plenty of IQ. It's EQ. And people aren't in touch with that. I think instinctively, too, there's a push for vanity, to want to have an IQ, just society-wise. You want to good grades, IQ. It's all about IQ. But EQ is what matters. EQ is what's going to make you happy. IQ is not going to make you happy. Right. That's a super important thing to keep in mind. Well, then there's a whole argument to that. Anyways, so maybe in another episode, because there's definitely more. This is not authoritative information. TLDR's Witch Law today started off pretty hype. I tried to get it mellow because I'm interested in deeper stuff. And we talked. I honestly don't really remember what we talked about. There's a lot on my mind right now. But we ended up talking about rules and then EQ versus IQ right at the end, which you probably didn't need a reminder of. But yeah, I got to work on the TLDR witch sloth thing. I thought it was this really nice idea. And then there's been so many times I don't even remember. So hopefully July is better. And I will miss you guys. Bye, Slaw. See you, Slaw.